They are very soft targets for misinformation. A lot of Latino and Hispanic communities are, to be frank, especially if you're from Cuba. Cubans hear socialism, communism, and as long as the Republicans use those words to describe democratic policies, they will vote.
So apparently, millions of Hispanic voters didn't make a conscious decision because we just so confused, we didn't understand what we were doing. That's pretty insulting and tone deaf considering the state of your community that's been voting lockstep with the Democrat Party since you got the right to vote. I'm sure you don't want me to go down the laundry list of devastating policies that the Democrats have had you voting for that has taken away your family, caused mass incarceration, the lowest level of education. But we're dumb because we understand what communism and socialism is. Newsflash, when we hear those words, it's not a trigger, bitch. It's experience. And in case you didn't know, most Hispanics are conservative because we value family, faith, entrepreneurship, working hard, building something for the next generation. We know exactly what we're voting for. And no, we didn't need anyone telling us how to think, not in English or Espanol.
Dear Democrats, you guys work pretty hard to get the Latinos voters. Let me tell you something. We don't gonna vote for you guys. Sorry, that don't gonna happen. Why? Because we grew up with the same Marxismo, socialismo ideologies. And we know they don't work where we come from. They don't work nowhere in the world, okay? Socialism and communism, they don't work. Oh, but we are not socialism. Hey, we know how everything starts, okay? And you don't gonna fool us. I mean, you guys have to change. If you guys have to wanna get the Latinos voters, you guys have to go back and become Americans again. You guys have to be proud of be Americans again. And then maybe we consider vote for you guys. But trust me, one of the things we all Latinos, when we get here, we feel it is how the Americans are proud to be Americans, and you guys are not proud to be Americans. That means until you guys be proud to be Americans, we never vote for you guys.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up today, man. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot to get into today, and we got to discuss it because this whole coalition that the Democrat Party has put out there to say that, hey, black folks and brown folks are on the same page, and you just got to support the Democrat Party, vote blue no matter who, no matter what, disregard the policies, just vote for us because, quote unquote, the other side is racist. When the mask is falling and no one's actually believing that type of rhetoric anymore. And I believe in 2026 and going forward, I believe we've seen a little bit of this in 2024, that this whole racial divide is slowly but surely going away. I've been saying it on this channel for quite some time. It's not about, how much or how little melanin you have. It's about ideology. Whether, for those of us that are believers in Christ, we're looking at the party, we're looking at the candidates, and we're looking at their agenda that's more in lockstep and aligned with what we believe and what direction we want to see this country move in. It's not about race. You can't come here and say, hey, because that person's a Republican, you got to support us because we're the party that's here to help you. When we know that for the better part, especially for black folks, for the better part of 70 years, you've been supporting a party that has consistently showed you that they're going to put you at the bottom, and now they're just overt with it. And what we do know is that Democrats love you if you are a black or Hispanic person, if you're willing to support their wicked agenda. If you don't support their wicked agenda, they're going to call you everything but a child of God. That's simple as that. And if that doesn't show you that it's really not about race anymore, it's more about ideology than anything else, I don't know what will. And I'm glad that you have a lot of Hispanics, you have a lot of Latinos, a lot of Latinas coming out and speaking out against Jemele Hill, Jasmine Crockett, and others within the Democrat Party for their racism and for their support of Marxism and socialism and communism. A lot of these people, especially those from Cuba, they experience this. It's not just hearsay. It's not just, something they talk about. No, a lot of these people have experienced Marxism and communism. Like the dude said, it's never worked. It's never worked anywhere. Everywhere that it's been implemented, it's been a net negative for the people. The food lines have consistent. Inflation goes crazy, and you literally have two classes of people, the top 1% and the 99, and they can see right through it. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep going.
Just come to my attention that Jemele actually did a clapback video to my video that was posted by the Black Conservative on YouTube. If you don't know him, follow along. And if you didn't notice, this is like gets me excited because now we have a learning opportunity. So I will be responding to this video shortly.
I'm looking forward to it. And Jemele Hill, you know, for the life of me, as much as she, you know, this pro blackity black, you know, she sure loves appropriating white women's hair. I'm just saying, but we're gonna keep it moving.
Jemele Hill, I know you don't do sports anymore, but I don't know if politics is your lane, because this is not a good look for black folks. Say what you want about Trump. Say what you want about the opposing view, the opposing side. I don't have a problem with that. Do your thing. But now you're insulting the Latinos, the Cubans. This is insane. I'm cool with you having an opinion on another race. I think all of us have opinions on another race. I think we do. But with the state of black people in the United States, I don't think we need to be insulting the intelligence of any other race group right now. Because if Cubans got online and voiced how they feel about black people, we would have a war inside of this country. Just take the L. And what sparked this conversation was Jasmine Crockett losing, and she lost to another Democrat. Why are we blaming conservatives and blaming Latino conservatives when she lost to another Democrat to represent the state? She wasn't even going against a Republican. So this is crazy. If I'm from the Latino community, I would be heated right now. A white person or a Latino person got online and said, black people fall victim to misinformation or whatever Jemele Hill said about them. Yeah, I'd be feeling some type of way too. Like, hold up. Even if it's true. It is. But I would be feeling some type of way if you come on here insulting black people's intelligence. It ain't no room for that. You know what I mean? Jemele Hill, you gotta sit down. You in timeout for a little bit. This is crazy.
Yeah, she's definitely in timeout. And she's definitely getting smacked all up and down these daggone internet streets. And and deservedly so. But that is the MO for the Democrat Party. If you don't agree with them, if you don't vote for them, even though they've come out and have been extremely disrespectful to you, they still feel like they own you. They own your vote. That's the reason why they hate people like myself so much, because we're critical thinkers, we're free thinkers, and we're just not going along to get along. So because of that, hey, we get called all types of names behind it. That's just the Democrat Party. That's who they are. They are a group of hateful, they're a group of hateful individuals. Simple as that.
Oh no. What do you mean? Jasmine not going to Congress for Texas? Oh, Crockett. A girl can only dream. Listen, Jasmine, what was that one quote that you said? Let me think. Oh yeah, we done picking cotton. You can't pay us enough to go find a plantation. Yeah, you remember that. I remember that. How could I forget? See, 6.5 million Hispanic voters in Texas, which is like the majority of the electoral vote here in the state. And you mean to tell me that you think that we're still picking cotton? Hell no, girl. Hell no. That's why you lost. Because you're fucking racist. I'm gonna tell you something real quick. If you would have pitched that in 2002, 2001, you probably could have gotten like a good drift. However, that was people in the past. Those kids that I grew up with that were chasing a field every summer, every spring with their parents, moving school to school because they had to go pick fruit with their parents, are now grown up. And guess what? Do you think that they're going to go back to picking fields when they have a citizenship? No. As a matter of fact, they're not even looking to vote for blue people with blue policies that put their parents in field. No. Some of them are real estate investors, business owners. They're passing down generational wealth. And you think that they're picking cotton. You out of your goddamn mind. I'm going to remind you real quick. The majority of the Latino voters for Trump here in Texas live in the southern border. You know what happened in the southern border? No. Why? Because neither you nor Kamala have the balls to go down there. I'm going to tell you what happened. Along the Texas border, poverty levels are sky high as it is. When you import a bunch of riffraff from third world countries and they end up in those southern border towns, they strain the resources for those people. Those people can't even survive. And then you're bringing in all this fucking riffraff with a CBP1 app Ticketmaster to the United States and you leave them there. That's why our governor had to ship all those fucking people out. And then y'all complain, oh, you were shipping all. Yeah, because you guys brought them here. You blue people brought them here to Texas and the southern towns were suffering. Not only that, but there was was violence across the border in Tamaulipas, in Reynosa, all those cartels fighting to bring all those people over here. Why? Because they were profiting billions of dollars. And your ass still thinks that we're picking cotton? Take that. No Congress for Jasmine. As a matter of fact, why don't you go run for Missouri? What did you do in Missouri that they don't want you to run for them? Oh, I know. Exactly. Because people in Missouri see right through your bullshit, and so do we in Texas. Keeping Texas red.
That was a scolding right there. Democrats, I hope they never learn, to be honest with you. I hope they never learn. I hope they continue to just stay on the identity politics train. I hope they do. Because that's all they had. They can't run on their agenda, because if they really started running on, pregnancy terminations to the 9th month, and in some cases afterwards, changing the gender of boys and girls, at ages as young as 1 and 2 years old, boys and girls sports. What else? What's the other thing? Oh, yeah, taxing everybody into oblivion. If they actually ran on their policies and said, hey, this is what we plan on doing. If we win, we're going to implement all of these things. They wouldn't run a race. They wouldn't run a race hardly anywhere. So they don't do that. They hit you with slogans and vibes, identity politics, and they want to tell you that the Republicans are racist. That's all they have, because they can't actually run on their party's policy or agenda, because it's so wicked and demonic and anti-America and anti-capitalism. Their agenda is to keep you broke, busted, and disgusted, and 100% dependent upon them. That's their agenda. People need to know this.
Cubans, as we know, that are in Miami, the I will vote for Donald Trumps, they are very soft targets for misinformation. A lot of Latino and Hispanic communities are, to be frank. And especially if you're from Cuba. Cubans hear socialism, communism, and as long as the Republicans use those words to describe democratic policies, they will vote Republican every time, even if they're voting for themselves to be put out of America.
This is a message to the young lady who just did this video the other day, talking about the Hispanics, Latinos, and especially the Cuban community. Newsflash, baby. Cuban American here, okay? So allow me, I'm going to interject and I'm going to address you. All right, I'm about to school you, okay? And this language that I'm speaking to you, and it's my second language, okay? You're talking about we vote Republican, okay? Because Republicans just got to mention communism, socialism. You know what it is? We've lived it. Okay, you've never had to stand in line for a loaf of bread. You've never had to stand in line for powdered milk. You've never had to stand in line for rice and beans and whatever little meat the Cuban government might have had to give you for that 1 month. Okay? So when us Cuban Americans get here and we assimilate, become citizens, okay, we take advantage of the American dream. Unlike you, all right, y'all still on this 400-year oppressed by your own slave masters, okay? You still suffer from Stockholm Syndrome. Right? The reason we vote Republican is because we're naturally conservative, because we know what socialism is. We know what communism is. And so when we get here, we take advantage of all the opportunities benefited to us because we want better. Okay? But let's not start, we can start with the long laundry list of your failures. Okay? When it comes to us and Hispanics, and you and Hispanics actually, okay? We have a higher rate of education, right, compared to the black community. We have a higher rate of entrepreneurship compared to the black community. We have a higher rate of home ownership compared to the black community. And the list goes on and on and on, all right? Because they're going to say, look, black man bashing another woman. And at the end of the day, like I said, I am Cuban American. My first language is Spanish. This language that I'm addressing to you in right now is my second language. I had to learn that here. Okay? I'm about to be 60 years old, all right? You have no idea what's going on in Cuba for 67 years. And what they're still going through, all right? You had no ancestors that had to tread across that water, all right? The open water across the Atlantic Ocean with sharks, or to other Hispanic countries, all right? South America had to cut through jungles and terrains just to get here. Right? The ones that did it legally, the ones that came here and assimilated and became citizens and have given into this country, have put into the country. All right, we're not on Section 8, we're not on government assistance, except the elderly and whatever. Okay, but the ones we come here, we work hard because we still have family. We know we still have family values. Okay, our kids still get married. I've been married to the same woman for 40 years. Okay, I've raised 4 kids. They're all adults today, ranging from the age of 36 to 20. My oldest daughter just came home from the United States Marine. Okay, 3 years ago. My youngest daughter, who's about to be 20, is joining the police academy now.
Brother's cooking. I know his comparison of Cuban Americans to, Black Americans here in the country. I don't know the data. I know when you look at it overall, as far as like just Hispanics Americans, I think he's off on those numbers, as far as, education and home ownership. But if he's just comparing Cuban Americans, I don't know those numbers. But I do agree with a lot of what this brother is saying. I do agree. And the thing is that, the Democrat Party, man, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Democrats, they're all the same. You know what I'm saying? They're all the same. It's identity politics. And if you do not agree with them, again, they're going to call you everything but a child of God. Simple as that.
Today is the day where I call out Democrat saviors of Latinos for Trump. So you guys are the biggest hypocrites. Everybody knows that. But apparently you guys think that Donald Trump is a racist. What he has said about the border. Oh, Karens, right? The white saviors, or all the Democrats, any Democrat that have pretended to care about the Hispanic and Latino community since 2015 when Donald Trump came down the escalators. It is so crazy how hypocrite and racist you guys are. So let me give you a brief example. Donald Trump says he wants a secure border, and here comes the Democrats. He's such a racist. He's such a da-da-da-da-da. We're with the Hispanic and Latinos. But as soon as I tell you that I'm a Hispanic for Trump, a Latina for Trump, how many racist slurs do you guys call us? Yeah. Hypocrite, racist Democrats. You guys can't even see your disgusting racism, and you're no white savior. Bye.
It's astonishing to me the amount of racism and xenophobia towards Latinos that I've seen from Jasmine Crockett supporters. Like, it's actually crazy. And I think this is why our country is the way it is. There's no unity at all whatsoever. People are painting it as if it was Harris versus Trump again, when that just wasn't it. That was not the reality. They were both great candidates. Both were qualified. And it just, the absolutely horrible things that I've seen, specifically Black people, say about Latinos, excusing ICE, saying, like, is ICE still hiring? Like, POC unity is such a joke. It will always be a joke. They will always keep us separated. And Texas is never going to turn blue. Apparently, we're just going to stay in this forever, because if your candidate doesn't win, then it's everything else.
Hey, it's identity politics for sure. But at the same time, it can't and it has to stop being about race. It's got to. I want to see in the Black community, I want to see the vote split 45-55, just like the Hispanic community, just like the white community, just like the Asian community. I want to see it split. Make these parties and the candidates stand on their policy and try to earn your vote. You no longer get to get the vote blue no matter who, just because you're quote unquote, a Democrat, and you think that Black folks owe you, or you think Hispanic folks owe you. They don't. They don't. We're operating in our freedom. So come to us correctly. Explain your policy. Explain your agenda. Explain what you're going to do for the district or the state that you plan on representing, and allow the people to evaluate you accordingly, and they'll make a decision on whether or not you get in or not. And for all the Black folks out there, Black liberals out there that are upset, thinking about this whole coalition, y'all hustling backwards, man. Y'all are hustling backwards. It's not about that anymore. If this race didn't show you that, I don't know what will. If what Toure said, a couple of weeks back in reference to Black ICE agents and it being okay, for white folks and other folks outside of Black folks to call an ICE agent that's Black an N-word, or, to use any form of derogatory term towards, a Hispanic person that works for ICE. If that didn't show you that it's not about race anymore, it's about which side you're on, If that didn't show you, I don't know what will.
Something I don't think a lot of people know is the disdain that Latinos have for the Democratic Party. Is that absolutely all of us? No, there are Republicans and then there are the vote blue no matter who people. But growing up, I heard so many Latinos, so many Mexican people basically saying that the Democratic Party has let them down way too many times. Because the reality is, politicians see Latinos as decorations, and the only time they bring us out is during election time. Do you know how many times, how many politicians promised us some way to get citizenship? Do you know the last 26 years? Do you know what actually has come out from those promises? DACA. DACA and DACA only. Now I know so many Latinos who literally opt out of voting. And I know Latinos from across the country. That's California, Texas, Michigan, Chicago, Ohio. Thing that I thought was very interesting that James Tallarico said, mind you, I'm not from Texas, but I did hear this from him. You need to treat the Latino vote like a swing state. I fear that that is something that people have figured out far too late. I think it's something important to realize or recognize before the next election comes, the next big election.
I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider supporting the channel, joining the ARP family, or buy your brother a coffee. The link's in the description box below. You can also support via Cash App. Shout out to my brother, Eric Plummer. Appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much. Join us Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.